for some analysis. Let's bring in Zeno Leoni here. He's a lecturer in the Defense Studies Department of King's College, London. Zeno, thanks for being with us. Russia's Foreign Minister, Sergei Lavrov, has just said that Moscow is starting another stage of what he calls the military operation in Ukraine. Can you tell us what he means by that, this new stage?
I think this question can be answered depending on whether we look at it from a short-term perspective or a long-term perspective. I think in the short term, we're going to see a new offensive with Russia increasing its firepower, concentrating it in the Donbas. It will aim at gaining full control of the provinces of Donetsk and Luhansk. But also to build and strengthen what has already been built with regard to that sort of bridge or Russian enclave that is running from the Donbas to roughly the city of Kherson. And it's not entirely unlikely that Russia will be able to achieve a military victory, at least against the regular Ukrainian forces in that part of the country. But in the long term, there is another big question, which is whether Russia is actually going beyond the Kherson and trying to reach Odessa in order to close off the access to warm waters to Ukraine. But for the time being, the evidence says that the emphasis will be on the Donbas.
Now, reports suggest that the Russian offensive in Ukraine has been plagued by problems with logistics and morale. Are Russian forces really up for taking on Ukraine's best equipped and most experienced soldiers in the east?
I think it is too soon to say, because currently Russia is really investing, committing its firepower in this part of the country. So certainly will perform, probably will perform better than it did before. Also, I'm a bit concerned that our estimates about our analysis, assessments about Russian capabilities are based on the campaign, on the war, on the attacks towards Kiev. These attacks towards the north, towards Kiev, have been certainly less brutal than other parts of the country. And I feel that Russia in Kiev was trying to test the ground, test the resistance of Ukraine, see whether it was possible to have a new group of elite, anti-Zelensky group of elite, to emerge and to negotiate with Russia. So that does not necessarily mean that Russia will struggle in the Donbas, but that remains to be seen.
Do you have any reason to believe, Zeno, that Putin would stop if he manages to capture the Donbas? How big is the risk that he will keep on going?
I think, like in every war, there is a spectrum of objectives, and these objectives change as you go. They are adjusted, and we have seen Russia adjusting its objectives after having left Kiev behind, after having given up on Kiev. The Kremlin, I think, at this stage might be happy with capturing the Donbas. However, it is possible that in order to strengthen their negotiating power at a future diplomatic table, they may actually threaten other parts of Ukraine. They could continue to put pressure on Odessa, only to eventually show some intent of de-escalation at an eventual diplomatic table.
Zeno, thank you very much for talking with us. That was Zeno Leoni from King's College in London.
Thank you.